I can't imagine a future for the United States that doesn't include nuclear power to create electricity. I mean, it's only 20% of our electricity, but it's 70% of our clean electricity.
This is Anna Baker representing the Pilgrim Coalition. She is going to tell you why she thinks that nuclear energy is a bad idea.
I think people usually hear nuclear energy and think that it's safe. And one of the reasons I think it's safe is because the industry, the companies that are providing the nuclear energy, are saying to everybody, oh no, it's fine, it's green. They think it's green, which means that they think it's environmentally safe. And they think it's necessary in order to have energy. But what the public doesn't realize is that these companies are spending so much money to try to convince people that it's safe, and that there's a lot of problems with nuclear energy. So the public needs to understand the negative sides, which can't be paid for by the industry. And one of the ways that we find that out is by going to school and learning about them. I actually went to Boston University and I got a degree in public health. And it was there that I learned that there's a lot of side effects to nuclear energy. Some of the particles that come out of the plant are radioactive and can go into our water, and then we can drink it, and it can cause cancer and other problems. And so I think people need to understand the negative sides of nuclear energy, which they don't often do.
This is Professor Gilbert Brown from UMass Lowell. He is here to tell you why we should be using more nuclear energy.
And there are two really important aspects of nuclear electricity. One, it can operate every day, every minute, almost at full power for a whole year. It only has to shut down really for maintenance and for new fuel. So it's very reliable, very reliable. It's called base load. That's very important because as we get more and more wind and solar, the wind doesn't blow. Today it's not sunny, so you need to have energy that's 24/7. And nuclear is really good at 24/7.
I think a lot of people are misinformed though, and many people don't understand the risks of nuclear energy. So people think that it's green and it's safe, and when you actually look at the problems that it causes, it's not. So I think it's a big reason, one of the big reasons we have to educate people on the hazards of nuclear energy.
I think you'll be very, very impressed by the levels of safety, not only in terms of the checkpoints that are at the plant, the security that you have to go through before you can go on site, but then there's also the level of engineering safety that protects the reactor itself.
At Pilgrim Nuclear Power Station, which is the one we have in Massachusetts, it's a very, very old plant. And when it was created over 40 years ago, they knew that it had problems. But it was so expensive to build that they couldn't afford to take it down. So they just kept it up and they just kept trying to put band-aids on it and make repairs. And what they found is it's very problematic. There are a lot of issues with it. So every time there's an issue, they try to make that little repair. But as it gets older, just like an old refrigerator in your house or something, it's less and less likely to work well. So now we have, not only do we have an old reactor that's breaking down, but we have a lot of waste. The Pilgrim Nuclear Power Station in Plymouth was meant to hold 880 of these spent fuel assemblies, which are just the waste that they have. And now it has almost 3,400. And it was intended to hold 880, and now it has 3,400, and they're all crammed together in a very tight space, which makes the risk of having a nuclear power accident really high.
The caller is correct that we do need a long-term solution for spent nuclear fuel. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, the President has commissioned a blue ribbon panel of experts to take a look at this and determine what we want that solution to be, and whether we want that solution to be deep geologic storage, such as Yucca Mountain. The science behind deep geologic storage, it really has been looked at a lot, so we do think that it is a safe long-term option. But we have the Blue Ribbon Commission out there that's looking at all of the options, and they're going to make a recommendation.
As you can see, nuclear energy certainly is affecting my community and many others around the world. But the real question is nuclear energy right or wrong?